Hi guys, welcome back to the Yorkshire Modeller. We are now on to issue 37 of the Hachette Partworks Battleship Bismarck. So, with issue 37, we get the foretop radar and the port hull section. So, obviously that bit's quite easy. We've all done that quite a few times before. And then we've got all these parts here. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 parts. And a job load of screws this week. The good thing is we do use all these parts this week, which we've not done for quite a while. Now, I'm not going to show you the screw in the hull on because we've all done that before. We know what it looks like. I will show you at the end of the video exactly what it looks like. And as you can see, I've moved things around again. So we've got the Bismarck just over here with my two planes hovering around there. And then on this table, I've got all my Halloween stuff on there. I'm going to a Halloween party on Saturday, so that's all on there. But this is where the next model is going to go while I'm building it, so you can see it coming along nicely there. So I'll reset the camera up and we will get started. So these are all the parts that we get with issue 37. As I say, I'm not going to do the whole part, but yeah, we get all the parts for the foretop radar with this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move some of these parts out of the way so we don't use any of the cogs. The parts that we need are this triangular piece and then this dark grey one as well. Just let me shift the light a little bit. Get it to sit properly. There we go, that's better. So this dark grey part here and that one there. So move all these other bits out of the way. So put the foretop command post attachment 37.4, which is that one, on your work surface. Take the deck 37.7, which is this one. Move this around a little bit more actually, just to try and, I don't want it to look too, that's alright, isn't it? So yeah, that's those two pieces there. Onto your work surface, take the deck and mount it on the top of the part, which is quite easily done just like that there. And apply super glue to the underside of the deck section. So what I'll do with this, I've got me good old Tamiya glue. So whoops, on this part there is like a little groove that runs all the way around. So kind of goes up there, follows that side up, then across the top, follows that side down, and then down at that angle. I'm just going to put the glue straight into that groove. Not loads. Just enough that it'll hold. And then pop that in. Hold it in for just a second. Then nope, that's not going to stick. So we will use the super glue this time. So I am looking at some. There is some Tamiya glue for ABS resin, which I think this is what this kit is made from. So I'll have a look into that. And if I do get some, I'll let you guys know. Because I think it's probably going to be easier than using super glue, because it does come the same as that that little tub of Tamiya you've just seen me using. Which is weird, it works for some things and not for others. So, anyway. Super glue will do just as good a job. Sometimes the super glue does tend to leak out and seep, and then you've got problems with loads of glue all over everything, but there we go. So that's all on and attached just there then. And like I say, that's not coming off anywhere. So that's that part done. Turn that over. Let me grab these. So now we're just installing some of the cogs. So now in this bag that we've just got the axles out of, there are 2 screws, so I've just put those off to the side just there. So pull these axles in. So take cog 37.8 and one of the shafts. So 37.8. Let me have a closer look at the instructions here. 37.8. I think, oops, put that there, is that one. So this is 37.8, the one with the long shaft type part on it. So that just goes straight in there. And then if I grab my tweezers, just grab one of these shafts and pop it right in the middle there. So that's that. No, crikey, light's not very good here today. There we go. So there you go. So that's all in there. Take the cog and one of the shafts, fit the shaft into the cog, pass the cog through the hole. Identify the fixing point, circled, which is that little point just in there, that one at the very tip of my finger. For the next cog and shaft. So this cog, there's only 2. The one it isn't is the one with the little square in. So if we pop that into there, which way around does it go? And it goes, this cog goes in with the little cog facing straight down. So its teeth should link in with the one that we've just put in. And that shaft will run straight into there like that. So that's that one all attached. And then this last cog, onto the next one. When correctly fitted, the smaller ring of teeth on the cog will engage with the teeth on the outer edge of the previous cog installed. Fit the third cog, which is the one with the little cross on the top of it, on the first shaft so that its teeth engage with the outer rings on the cog that we've just installed. So for this, put that in there like that. So way crikey. So that's all in and attached just there like that. So now we bring in the base plate. Take the base plate 37.5, fit it over the cogs, fix in place with the 3 PB 2.5mm screws so that the cogs are held in place. Now these are in the other little bag that we get. So now in this bag, in the second bag, there's the silver screws that attach the hull section, and there's also 4 of the black screws that attach on this part. So a screwdriver, that's all moving. So what all I do is take that top cog and just give it a bit of a turn to make sure everything's moving. The gearbox, hang on, is that the right way around? No, it's not, that's the right way around. The gearbox on the first gun, because I had to take the whole model apart for that. So that first, I had to take the whole gearbox apart for that first gun. So now what I do, if ever I've got any motors, I just double check that they're all working first. So that's 1. That's 2. Oh Christ. If you can hear any noise in the background, that's my wife on Tomb Raider downstairs. It's half term, so she's a teacher. She gets a good week off which I think she deserves. Right, so that's all 3 of those screwed in. Nice and snug. Like that. Next we take the motor from last week and fit the shaft of the motor into the recess so that the tabs on the motor fit over the raised screw sockets, fixed in place with the screw supplied with the previous issue. So I've kept those out to one side. There's a lot of screws in this issue, an awful lot of screws. So if we attach that onto there, so that's one cut. Is there a set way this has to go out? That's the same way. Right, so what I've started doing as well with this build is I'm just following the pictures exactly as they come in the magazine, especially when it comes to like the wiring, because I've got this horrible feeling that if you put the cable in the wrong way round, it's going to cause you a hell of a lot of problems later on. And then once certain bits of the model are all attached together, it's going to make life incredibly difficult for you at later stages. So if you follow everything as Hachette have done it in the magazines, so it'll be flat base of the part there, cable coming out onto the right side. So next we take the kind of flattened off part here and we attach that onto the top, and that's using one of the black screws that were in with the shafts earlier in the build. There we go, so that one's on there, and then let's have a look. Turn the assembly over, fit that part in place, fit that part over there. Right, so check the fit of the radar unit. So this boxy type thing here is the radar unit. Apply super glue to the contact point, which is that little nub just there. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a tad more super glue. So I'm going to put it on that contact point on both sides, but then just run a little bit around the inside of that edge as well, and then glue that into place. So that's on there like that. And then this last part, check the fit of the Foretop command post attachment, which is the other little boxy type part with the 4 holes on. On the back of the command post, as shown, apply a little super glue to the 2 pins and fix in place. So that goes there. So there's those little 2 kind of pinholes, the rectangular ones there. That just sits into like that. So dab of super glue on. That was my tin poster falling down. That way around, and then we glue that in so that it is flat at the top. So that's what this part will look like when it's all done, and then the hole underneath just there as well. So that hole obviously is pointing down, so when we put this onto the deck, nobody will be able to see that bit. But that's this week's all completed. So we've started to assemble the radar unit, and the motor has been fitted, which I'm going to test out now. Right guys, so issue 37 all finished. Issue 38 we get the next hull section, the next keel section, which will be going on that side just there. And we also get the accessories for the foretop control post, which is what we've built this week. So just a few little bits and bobs there. I don't think we'll be attaching that to the deck just yet, but we'll see next week. In terms of what we've built up to now, we've got the hull pieces here. So this is the part we've attached. Whoops, this is the part we've attached this week. From that to that is just over 19 inches. So it's starting to get quite big and quite heavy now as well. And obviously if you look straight down, oh, it looks beastly. Can't wait for this to carry on. In terms of the parts we've built this week, I've wired them all up to the battery pack and they all work fine. So that's better. Just trying to get it all level, my OCD kicking in. So that's all fine and working. So that's the end of issue 37. Issue 38 will be up as normal next week. I have decided on the next build on the channel, which I will go into when it arrives. It is on order at the moment. It is a current run. It is something that hasn't only just started. I think some people are about 10 issues in. I was just a little bit nervous with what's just happened with the Aston Martin, that I thought I'd rather have a go at something that's a little bit further along. In terms of moving the room round again, so we've got the geek wall there. We're going to have all the models on that wall that's kind of straight behind me there. So this model's going to be probably up here somewhere, and then the Bismarck I'm going to have over here somewhere. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But that's why I've kind of moved the room around. Remember to like, share and subscribe to the Yorkshire Modeller for more weekly model building geekiness. Hopefully going back up to 2 videos a week soon enough. When this second model arrives. Like I say, it is on order, so hopefully we should get it soon. But until next week, guys, happy modelling.